The next component is the power supply. So that is this huge block thing down here at the bottom. So if you look at the back, we have two fans that keeps our power supply cool and a power connector. And power supplies, they generate a lot of heat as well. A lot of electricity is coming in and it's being converted to a current that the motherboard can use to generate information. The power supply would be located where the power plug plugs into the computer. So if you have a different model, you can quickly find it by finding out where the power plug goes. Modular power supplies are popular today because the cables attached to the power supply itself are removable. So let's take a look at this one and see if it has, yep, it also too has a modular power supply. So we have this card that plugs into the power supply, and then we have these cables. So let's say that this power supply was to go bad, all we have to do is unplug it from this thing, take this thing out, and then plug in the new one. Back in the old days, these cables were not removable, they were actually attached to this device. So when we had to replace a power supply, we had to unplug all of this stuff up here, pull it through, and then pull this thing out, put the new one in, and then rerun all the cables. It was quite a laborious task, and to be honest with you, I never came out of it without getting bloody knuckles, because I would always scrape my knuckle against a circuit here, because these are very sharp edges here, and cut my hands open pretty good trying to feed the cables and everything back in. So I always left a little DNA in a machine. So as you can see from here, this power supply, this huge cable, feeds our motherboard. So the power supply feeds the motherboard power so it can give all the attached components power too. The motherboard and the power supply work together to condition the electrical current into smooth waves which can be interpreted as zeros and ones, representing the basic building block of data. The power supply will have other power connectors. These connectors feed power to the hard drives, the video cards, various fans, and CD-ROM drives. So if we look inside here, we can see some of that. So we can see that we have a power connection that feeds the fan to the heat sink. We can see on our CD-ROM drive that it has a power connector as well. Our hard drives, these are power connectors that feed our hard drive. These are the SATA cables. So this is where the data comes in and out of the hard drive, and this is where electricity flows through the hard drive. Our CD-ROM is going to be pretty much the same inside of here. It's kind of covered a little bit, so it's hard to see. But we can see that down here towards the bottom we have power connectors. Our video card also, which is a very powerful device, also has its own power to feed the video card.